Hi everyone, I'm Steve here with Dr. Nario. Dr. Nario is with Biointegrative Health Center in Reno, Nevada. As you know, check them out online, see what kind of treatments they do. A lot of IV treatments, which are really cool, but I'm into that stuff. So, Biointegrative Health Center, welcome, Dr. Nario.
Hi, Steve. Thank you for having me again. Always a pleasure.
Okay, I want to talk about something that's pretty powerful today. ALA. What is it?
Well, Steve, ALA is one of our famous concoctions here in biointegrative health. And again, as I always explain ALA, I always want to put some analogies in there. The train needs fuel. The tank needs an umph in order for it to move. Alpha-lipoic acid, again, is known to be a very potent antioxidant made naturally in the body and is also found in food, found in all human cells as well inside our body because we create them and also we get them to get inside our system through oral ingestion. And it is basically made inside our mitochondria, which is the powerhouse of the cell. And the mitochondria uses oxygen to produce this ALA. And also, it supports enzymes as they convert nutrients into energy. That's why when I mentioned about the train, the tank, because it can act as a fuel. And it's also used to break down carbohydrates specifically. And food sources where we can get it: red meat, carrots, beets, spinach, broccoli, and potatoes. And another feature of ALA is it improves recycling of other antioxidant compounds such as vitamin C and vitamin E. That's why the protocol of ALA is not only taking ALA, but also taking the other nutrients or other vitamins that you take orally, such as C and E, and very famous for liver and diabetes support.
Okay, so you kind of touched on that a little bit, but can you get into a little more depth on what the benefits of taking ALA are? Alpha
Or
lipoic acid, yeah.
Yeah, we'll break it down, but that's a good point. So the benefits, again, people are just like, what's ALA? We just don't know about it. That's one of the better, a lot of questions count coming from our patients, Steve, about it. Important nutrient, ALA is, that offers many positive health benefits. Use for healthy patients, meaning what is the purpose why a healthy guy like you would use it? Because it can promote healthy aging, because it's an antioxidant, it fights free radicals, it promotes organ function, cardiovascular health, brain and nervous system health. For specifically for athletes, for our audience out there, it's a constant supply of energy, especially if your sport is requiring a lot of endurance. That's where I use it a lot with my patients here, and it also helps to produce energy when we're running out of energy when we're exercising. And as we all know, when exercising, a lot of oxygen is pumped to burn glucose and more oxidative damage through free radicals. And that's why ALA comes into play, meaning it promotes glucose metabolism and also neutralizes the free radicals. Remember, it's fuel for the train. And for pathologic, for the sick patients that I see, I use it with diabetes, especially for the ones who has neuropathy, the numb hands and feet, glaucoma, problems with the eyes, hepatitis, liver problems, heavy metal problems, cancer, and even it's an add-on to promote the glutathione function.
Wow, does a lot of good stuff. So, I know there's two forms there that I know that you can take orally. That's R and S.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that. Is one better than the other, or does it matter? You take them both. What about that?
Right. Well, that's a bigger question also that confuses a lot of patients about what's R, what's S. So here it is. Is R versus S just tomato, tomato, or are you comparing apples to oranges? The thing here is R and R lipoic acid is actually different from S, so they're not the same. But always when you hear just plain ALA without the letter, they're probably pertaining to S lipoic acid. So they are called, it, enantiomers. Again, I don't want to use that word, but it's just pertaining to molecules that mirror each other in biochemistry. But I don't want you to remember that. Just remember R and S. So R is natural and S is unnatural, meaning S is something that is made in the lab and through various chemical reactions. R is actually naturally produced inside the body, may it be from animals or actually plants, and it also occurs or regenerates through our mitochondria. And also, S acts as a free radical scavenger and assists in repairing oxidative damage, while R is essential for cellular function and energy production. So again, to summarize that, R is more for energy production, S is good for antioxidant function. And that's the main difference between the two.
So they're both beneficial.
Yes.
And could you take them both at the same time?
Yes, you can. That's actually possible.
Okay, so R for energy, the mitochondria,
Mhm.
and the S is more, would you say, antioxidant or?
Yep,
Okay, okay,
that's right.
so
Easy peasy.
yeah, peasy. So what are our choices as far as administration? How can we take this orally? Do you do a shot? An IV? What are the different ways that you administer this to your patients?
So that's right. The most common ones that we do here, Steve, is of course prescribe it orally. Not all patients are, of course, available for IV therapy. But again, going to the oral, the significant increase in concentrations are more detected when you use the R form. That's why orally is something that I always go for R's for those type of approaches. And oral dosages given in numerous clinical studies range from 200 to 1800 milligrams, again, depending on the severity of the illness. But the normal dose that I always give to normal patients, 300 milligrams with meals, is fine. Now let's go into the IV administration. Now
Well, wait a
considers.
minute. You said 300 with meals, so is that 300 three times?
So again, depending. So as I meant, I gave you the range of 200 to 1800 milligrams. If somebody's so healthy, I just want maintenance. I just want the benefits of it. 300 milligrams is actually a good dose to start with. But if you have, for example, now, all right, I have liver issues. All right, let's do a little bit more. Let's do 600 milligrams on you. So that's how we kind of depend or gauge what dosing we do for orals. Again, if you, let's say I'm very high intense athlete, meaning I do produce more free radicals, sure, we can go higher and higher. So that's why, again, that's where our clinical decision comes in to play when we apply the dosing of oral alpha lipoic acid. So now going into the R versus S, now this is very important in what you're going to use with IV form. Actually, there's no I'm sorry, in this situation, R versus S is null and void. There are no differences in intravenous metabolism or blood concentrations when using IVR or IVS forms. And IV top doses could be at least around 600 milligrams. And you ramp up again. The starting dose is 40 milligrams. As you can see, there is a lower starting dosing for IV just because the potency. And you have to remember where you're not going through the gut that will filter and throw away some of the medicines. But through IV, you always go slower because you have full 100% absorption. And one thing that I want to take note for everybody who's taking ALA out there, it leads to the B1 deficiency, which is thiamine. That's why I always remind patients, if you're taking heavy doses of alpha lipoic acid, take B1. And also blood sugars go down because as you use ALA, you increase blood sugar metabolism. That's why hypoglycemia will be one of the things that you can see.
Yeah, and that can be a huge benefit, lowering the blood sugar for sure. I mean, people that are
Mhm.
pre-diabetic and all that stuff, and weight loss and all
Right.
that. Well, I am doing an ALA drip in a couple days.
All right.
So I think I haven't done that one before, but I will be at the clinic, Biointegrative, and doing an ALA drip. And whoever gives it to me, I'm going to talk them into giving me the massivest dose. Is that a word?
You just
that,
made one, so that's
yeah,
now a word.
that I can take. So great supplement. Dr. Nario, thank you for the information. Dr. Nario, Biointegrative Health Center, Reno, Nevada. Check them out online. Thanks for being with us. Always great information.
Well, thank you, Steve, for having me. As we all know, knowledge is power, and thank you for letting me provide you with the edge in longevity and health maintenance, which I call the biological edge or the bio edge.